All right, next one is life safety proposal. Kevin?
This was also thoroughly discussed at the last board meeting. We received a presentation from Liz Hennessy, from William Blair, also in regards to the financing of the life safety survey. Our life safety survey is up in 2015. We know we have some significant repairs that will be coming down the pipe in regards to some of our bleachers and stadium facilities, as well as some concerns with the roof and then other concerns that are not being a licensed architect that may pop up. Under school, you are allowed to do your survey at an earlier date. That was the reason we had Liz Hennessy come forward and talk about taking advantage of the low interest rates and doing it without it, and the impacts on the taxpayers and some of those things. My recommendation to the board was that we already have an architect in place, and that they did do the $66 million renovation, that they could be able to do this life safety survey in a more efficient manner than maybe a new architect, and that would help us work within that time frame before March 1st. I also did make clear to the board that using White as our architect for the life safety survey in no way requires us to use them for any kind of future projects going forward. The safety reference plans that are cited in the proposal to the board is $16,430. That originally was $28,000, so they're offering us a reduction on that. I went back to them and talked to them about the original quote was $39,000. I got them 10% down to $35,000. The board still had some concerns that they were just their at market value. With the $35,000, they wanted me, similar to Quest, to go back to White and see if we can reduce those costs even further. With no avail, this is the new proposal that was sent to me on October 30th. So there was no fluctuation in that price.
All right, do I have a motion on this?
Resolved that the Board of Education Township High School District 2A, Cook County, Illinois, hereby authorizes White and Company to complete a 10-year life safety survey and safety reference plans for Township High School District 2A for the amount of $35,000 for the 10-year life safety survey, $16,430 for the safety reference plans, as reflected in the proposal White and Company submitted on October 30, 2012.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Laura Hruska. Any discussion? I think we discussed it last time. Mary Ann?
I have discussion.
All right.
So the rationale of using White was sort of, quote, efficiency. Another word for efficiency, should cost us less money. So if Kevin went back to them and they haven't really budged on this estimate, I don't think we're really saving any money. I think we should bring this to competitive bidding.
But they did go down from 28 to the 16. So on the safety reference plans, we got a savings there.
That was still in their original proposal that they offered. They did not change that price. That was offered in the original with the 39. If we don't do the bid, if we don't do the life safety survey now and we wait the 2 years, they'll charge us the $28,000 that they originally quoted us. That's on page 3 of 4 in the attached proposal. So the $16,000, they feel that's a competitive price. So there was definitely no room on that. So I only approached it more or less on the 35, just for clarification.
So if you look at the numbers, the two things, whatever their advertised cost is, were 28 and 35, so they were 63,000, and they are off. 39 and 28 of 67,000, right?
Yeah.
And then they're offering to both at 51,000, so they came down a third or something, and they, when you went back to basically said, we gave you our best price the first time.
That is correct.
Okay.
Okay, any other discussion?
When's the drop dead date on this?
Well, there's not necessarily a drop dead date.
It's
just
based on the bond prices.
Well, even with that, just to clarify that, in order to get that, the interest rates that were discussed by the current bond council, we would need to have the life safety survey completed and submitted to the state by a licensed architect and approved by the state before March 1st.
So how long would it take for us to get the bids back if we sent it out?
Well, we would have to just follow our competitive bid process. The only thing I'm worried about, is it would be tight with the holiday season.
Thank you.
So some of this may need to, we would try to get the bid out and try to get hopefully bids in before, we only have one board meeting in December, so we probably wouldn't be able to get information back to the board till January on a competitive bid. And then we would just have to try to work that in while the students are in attendance for them to do a full-blown safety survey.
And when is spring break?
Spring break is in March. So the issue of doing it after March 1st, is that there would be, Timmy, correct me if I'm wrong, there'd be some additional impact on the next year's levy.
Right, if we do it by March 1st, then we would start to see if we issued the bonds by March 1st, life safety bonds, we would collect on that next August or September, whenever the taxes are due for the fall collection. If we don't do it by March 1st, then it rolls over to the next year.
And
Can
that's,
we issue those bonds without knowing what we're gonna build? I mean, this is just a
No, that's
survey.
why we have to do the life safety survey. Once the architect finishes the life safety survey, then we have a number that says, okay, this is the cost of the life safety items that you have to complete. Then we know if we're gonna issue bonds, how much we're gonna issue.
last time John was asking what the hurry was. I'm inclined to say I'm gonna vote to say we should bid this out. I'm not worried about the bump where they said if we're gonna make this levy year or not. I don't think we should try to drive this home before that. If this is truly a competitive bid, it'll come back like that. So I would prefer to see that. I still think we have some issues, and we're asking the company who did the architecture to basically approve their own work. I'm gonna lean towards that, and, if we're gonna have someone come in and judge these facilities for the safety of our kids, I'd rather see it go out to bid.
Any other discussion?
Yeah, I think we have a double standard here. We have the quest, if it's not broken, don't fix it. But I feel that there's personal agendas. White and Company is a leading company, recognized number one in the state of Illinois for educational architectural work. They did wonderful work with this school, schools all around. We're not asking them to do the work, we're getting a significant savings. It puts us in a position to make a decision or not make a decision that may help us. And we move forward before we have any accidents. We already know we're not in compliance with our bleachers. We're just trying to get the report so we could do our due diligence and provide a safe environment for our students and our families.
Any other discussion?
But we don't know that we're really saving money off of them. That's the problem.
All right, Mary Ann.
We're saving a third, John. They came down a third, 33%.
It's not a competitive bid. So, in other words, vote no on this if you want a counter proposal to send out a bid.
If you don't want to accept this proposal, you would vote no. All right, Mary Ann.
Dr. King?
No.
Mr. Moon?
No.
Mr. Welch?
Yes.
Mr. Welch?
No.
Mr. Gritchen?
No.
Ms. Hruska?
Yes?
Mr. Cindy?
No. All right, Kevin, I think the vote will tell you that we should put a proposal on.
All right.